Hello there and welcome back to Arctic Retro, and in today's episode I have this one, a Dragon 32 computer. This computer is the one I recently bought for my collection, and the Dragon 32 computer was quite popular around the same time as the Commodore 64. Let me just take a moment here and thank my sponsor PCBWay. They are sponsoring this video, and I got a lot of PCBs produced by them, which I found on their shared project site, and I must say the quality is really good, so I can really recommend PCBWay. If you visit PCBWay.com, you can upload your Gerber files and get an instant quote on producing your PCBs, and the prices are really affordable. Besides PCB manufacturing, they can also do CNC machining and 3D printing, including injection molding. They also do PCB assembly and advanced PCB. So go ahead and visit PCBWay.com and check out their services. As you can see, the box has seen better days. Yeah, it's ripped here and there, and it has been repaired with some tape. Okay, so let's take it out on the box and see what we got. The family computer to fire your imagination. Okay, before I take it out, let's read up a little bit on the specs on the side here. So it got an advanced 6809 microprocessor. It has powerful 32K RAM, extended Microsoft Basic, professional quality keyboard, free basic training manual, 9-color display, 5 different resolutions, sound and music, uses home UHF TV set, uses standard cassette recorder. Alright, so that's quite a lot. I think most home computers had that back in the day on that time. There's the machine in all its glory, and I did actually test it briefly when I unboxed it, and it is working. So this video is gonna be a walkthrough and a teardown and some restoration work all in one. Not really sure at this point, we'll see. The Dragon 32 was released for the European market in August 1982. Later came the Dragon 64. The machine had reasonably good games, but it had poor graphics capabilities. Dragon Data collapsed quickly, and in 1984 they were acquired by a Spanish company. That company eventually went bankrupt in 1987. The Dragon 32 has a very similar design as the TRS-80 color computer. The Dragon 32 can be upgraded to a Dragon 64 by a memory upgrade, and except for the RAM and the RS-232 port, the 32 and the 64s are identical. The machine has a Motorola 6809 CPU running at 0.89 MHz, and it has a video display generator 6847, and it has two 6821 PIAs. The operating system is Microsoft Extended Basic. For video, the machine has different resolutions, and the max resolution is 256 x 192 in black and white only. The machine has analog joystick interfaces. A little curiosity is that it was possible to increase the speed of the computer by using a poke command. However, this could also crash the machine. Machine is okay, it's clean, and yeah, keyboard seems to be working. It's quite a noisy keyboard. Let's take a look at the sides. There's an expansion slot for cartridges, and on the back we have the power supply input, on-off switch, and the monitor output. And this is quite a rare power input, this 9-pin D-sub connector. You would mistake it for a joystick port. And on the other side here we got some more. It's a TV out, a reset button, joystick, tape and a joystick. And here's some printer port. The underside doesn't offer much excitement except for the serial number and made in Great Britain. Along with the machine I also got the cassette cable, and that's nice to have because then I can load some games or something from from tape archives or something like the Maxduino. The power supply is something for itself. Besides being very ugly and bulky, it has these holes in the corners. I wonder if they were thinking you should screw it down to the wall or something. Anyway, it says Dragon 32K AC adapter, 240 volt input and 8.5 volts AC at 1.5 amps. And it's 25 volts AC at 250 milliamps. So that's a kind of obscure, not really easy to replace this with something standard. Alright, I have hooked up the machine with the RF output, RF cable, and yeah, let's see if it can turn on. And alright, there you go. So that's a pretty poor picture actually, but it's not the worst I have seen actually from an RF signal. Let's see if this machine actually works. Oops. Yep. So the basic is actually working. RF signal always gives a poor result, but the fact is that most of these old machines actually had at least a composite video out, and this one has that, and I actually got the cable for it here, and it's a composite AV lead for the Dragon from Retro Computer Shack. And the output from the machine is this 5-pin DIN connector, and yeah, it's in the back. And the other side is just regular audio and video jacks, and I just use a SCART adapter here. Let's see now if that made an improvement. Yeah, that's a lot clearer at least, but seems to be a little bit of vibration in the picture. It's a bit hard to make this look good when I'm just filming directly onto the screen. Let me zoom in a bit. Yeah, that looks alright, except for the shaking of the image, but that was actually present at the RF signal as well. So maybe there's some adjustment pots or adjustment possibilities in the... Alright, before I continue with the exploration, I'm gonna open up the machine and take a look inside. The machine has 4 large screws, one in each corner, and this one actually has been opened by the looks of it. It's the seal is broken and says that breaking this invalidates the guarantee. That was quite a simple design when it comes to the case. Alright, that's the inside, and yeah, looking fairly simple and neat inside here. Yeah, the motherboard here. Here's the power supply, the internal one, and yeah, it's quite dusty as you can see, but actually it looks quite alright. I can't see anything wrong. No corrosion, nothing has leaked, no nothing, so this is really a nice one. And it has this distinct smell of old times electronics, like this backlit. Is that what it's called? Backlit boards, like this one, brown color. Here's the RF modulator. I might try and do some adjustments on that one. Alright, so this machine is so clean that there's almost nothing to do, but let's continue the teardown, because why not? We like to tear things apart here, just to see how they work and how we can put it together again afterwards. So this keyboard has some clamps here that are secured with this big screw. Even if it's clean, it has some dust inside, so yeah, I think I'll take these parts out and blow them free of the dust. Here's the ribbon cable, and it's of those sturdy ones. Then this cover for the expansion port. Just 2 small screws. You see how simple this machine actually is. So did you notice this machine didn't have any RF shielding on it except for the RF modulator? So maybe that's because it's British and they didn't have as strict rules as the FCC, or what they are called in the United States. This screw is a little bit different from the others, so mind that. It's just a cover for the slot on the other side, because it's not in use, so there's actually no need for that, but yeah, it's there for a reason. Alright, now we can inspect everything, and this daughter board with the power supply and the TV modulator seems to be in good shape. And here's interesting to see the backside. In fact, the composite video out, which is a 5-pin DIN connector, only has 3 pins connected. It's the ground pin, and there's this pin that comes right from the motherboard, which is probably the composite video. And there's this pin that also comes straight from the motherboard. So this is probably the composite video signal, because it also feeds into the RF modulator. So this is probably the audio signal then. So that means if we find a suitable modern power supply for this, we can actually replace the whole thing, and we can just feed the composite signal directly from the motherboard to this contact if we want to, and just get rid of the RF modulator altogether. And we can see here that the actual PCB is just a single-sided one. And that means that all the connections are only on one side, nothing is soldered on this side. When it comes to the motherboard, it looks alright too. Yeah, it's a fairly neat design. A couple of processors and controller chips and memory chips over here, and some logic. So not much to it. And the backside. Yeah, the backside looks very nice. The thing is, the Dragon 32 machine actually has almost the exact same architecture as the TRS-80 color computer, which both Noel in Noel's Retro Lab and Koiro in his Koiro Retro Innovation channel both covered in videos a while ago, where they discussed the similarities. And yeah, that's interesting fact. Here it says Dragon Data Limited CPU UK 32K MK2 PC 187 issue 6. I'm just gonna blow away some dust and then I'm gonna clean with some isopropanol here and there. I blew away most of the dust, just gonna clean a little bit. It's a nice thing to do a little bit of cleaning anyway, because yeah, the next owner will probably appreciate it. You can see all the dirt. There's always some stuff, oxidation, things like that. I actually noticed a small issue with this board, and the power contact is all loose because these nuts are completely loose. So this has probably taken some beating through the years. Just gonna tighten them. It's those through hole bolts, and yeah, tighten the nuts. Okay, so the electric contact doesn't seem to have been affected by that. Finally, a little bit of contact cleaner. Power switch needs a little bit juice too. The motherboard needs a bit of love. Everything is now cleaned, and while I have the board out, I just as well replace the 6 capacitors, electrolyte capacitors on this board. These are really common values, so I got them in stock. There's 2 100 microfarads, 3 10 microfarads and 1 33, and I got them all here. However, the power supply has this very unusual or not so common anymore capacitors, these big ones, 4700. So I'm not gonna replace those because they're hard to get, and also if they eventually fail, I might just as well replace the whole power supply. Firing up the trusty old Anesti SETI 915 desoldering station and my Dibotech soldering station. This is not the necessary gear if you want to replace caps or do some simple work on electronics, but it's very helpful and saves you a lot of time. Alright, let's do the desoldering. I have marked the capacitors on the back side already, so not gonna do a mistake. The caps came loose pretty easily. They usually do. It's the chips that are difficult. Alright, in with the new ones and try to get the polarity correct. The long leg is the plus. And I almost forgot, I want to clean up the solder pads a little bit. They look alright, not much remaining solder tin, but just clean them up with some alcohol. Last capacitor. Alrighty, the board has got new electrolytes and is ready to work for another 30 years. The case is quite clean. I just wipe it inside with a little bit of a cotton pad and some alcohol, and yeah, well, clean. There's always something, isn't there? Time to assemble the thing. The keyboard isn't very dirty, however I can see there is some dirt and dust between the keys, so I'm just gonna jank them off and clean them a little bit in some soapy water. And this just pulls straight up, no need for any special tools or anything. This keyboard is very similar to the TI-99/4A keyboards. Yeah, same mechanism. Push down and there's these two metal contacts that touch and yeah, activates the key. And yeah, there's a lot of dirt, as you can see, in between, so good thing I took this off. So the mechanical principle on this keyboard looks alright. Yeah, I guess these won't wear out that easily. What can happen is, of course, the contacts get oxidized and start making bad contacts, so that's why I'm gonna spray all the contacts with some contact cleaner. Keys are just gonna take down into the sink and clean with some dishwasher and clean with some dishwashing soap. Everything is nice and clean, and I'm gonna assemble the keyboard. Voila! Alright, we are ready to test. The last thing I want to do just before I close this up is to add a few heat sinks. One nice thing with this machine is that there is a lot of room. They could probably have made it half the size if they wanted to, but there's a lot of room for expansions and things like that. Alright, let me turn it on and see if it still works. Yes, it does. And that shakiness on the picture is still there, so I was thinking maybe I should try and adjust something on this RF modulator. However, this comes from the composite video, so That's probably something on the motherboard that needs to be adjusted, and there aren't many options. There's a few adjustable things here, so yeah, in fact this one, it's an adjustable coil, I think. Yeah, picture is now stable and actually improved in contrast as well. But if you overdo it, then it will be too much. So alright, so now that just cut out the signal totally. Yeah, I think that's the best I can get. There is a little bit of shakiness in the edge, but the picture is now stable. Yeah, there's a adjustable resistor, another one, and that also has some effect on the picture. So no, it's very good, very stable. The first one I adjusted was this one. It says 10K on top, so it's probably just a resistor or pot meter. This one I adjusted also. Not really sure what it is. It says, it actually says C6, so it's an adjustable capacitor then, yeah. All right, I'm gonna put the cover back and then we can test this and see if we can manage to load some games onto this. I actually got some software for this machine, games and business software like this. Cabbage of Doom, Mind Out, Caterpillar 2, a Death Cruise, and yeah, UXB, I Ching, and here I got some Dragon cassette business program, business accounts, cost-effective business software for small computers. And here is yeah, a large one, boxed cassette game, Monsters and Magic. That sounds exciting. Anyway, these are collector's items which I'm not gonna use now. I just put them away. However, the cable for the cassette player can also be used on some modern devices, and if you've seen some of my previous videos, you have seen me using the same thing on other machines. So I went to archive.theworldofdragon.org and I found a few games as CAS files. And yeah, Manic Miner, Jet Set Willy, and two of the ones I had on cassette, the I Ching and the Death Cruise. So let's see if those are working. You see the webpage uses the same green color as the dragon. Alright, so what I'm gonna test with is this. It's a Castuino running a Maxtuino firmware, and yeah, just insert the memory card with the games on. Then we're just gonna connect the cables. We only need the read cable because we're not gonna write something to tape. So, and this is the remote control lead. And yeah, I guess the red one is the right, so we're gonna use the blue one, and some 5 volts power. All right, so let's see now if we go to, yeah, I made a folder called Dragon, so I'm gonna enter that one. And let's see, let's try this Manic Miner first. And to load a game, I think it's C-load M. Let's see now. I could hear a relay was switching inside. So let's press play then. Yeah, found Miner. Nice. Okay. Nice loading graphics in 3 colors, 4 colors. I don't have a joystick to this machine because it uses analog joysticks, which I don't have, and it's like this DIN connectors, so we have to use the keyboard. And as usual, this is not a very fast process. It's the same speed as the actual tape used back in the day. And here is the code sheet, and F16 should be, let's see now, not very easy to see. F16, green, red, red, blue. Green, red, red, blue. Yeah. All right, so there is something not right with the colors now suddenly, because no, it changed graphics mode, and now the thing is smeared over. It should be only black and white, because that's the colors that's available when you have the high-res mode. Anyway, we can try this now. Oops. Yeah, this is Manic Miner. It's the prequel to Jet Set Willy. This is Jet Set Willy, isn't it? I'm not good at this. Alright, I'm gonna open the machine and see if we can adjust something on this. So that's not very nice. Let's see now this cap. And then this resistor. There you go. It should be black and white. Come on. So I just switched to the RF signal output, and that actually looks more like it should do with respect to the colors. And yes, so it might be just that the composite signal isn't good enough for this TV actually. Let me see if I switch back now. No, not very nice. The thing is, if I adjust, I can briefly see that it turns right like that. So it's just about finding the sweet spot for... I'm gonna leave it with that, with the high-res issue. Maybe it's because the TV is a bit too modern. I could, of course, try another screen or something. Let's see if we can load another game then. I'm gonna load Death Cruise. FM error. Okay, so what's this? I'm gonna try just C load and see if that is the correct command now. Okay, now it found Cruise 1. That's probably a difference between machine code games and basic programs. Alright, it loaded. Let's check out the program. Yeah, this is a basic program. That's actually a nice thing that you can see the code for the game, because then you can actually learn how to program this machine, especially if you know some programming from before. All right, let's run it. It's probably some text-based game. Death Cruise. Very annoying intro. Probably some text adventure, I don't know. Enter your name. My name. Okay, so this is the deck and the bridge, and you have binoculars, and yeah, you're carrying nothing. So your next command, okay, let's see, look. What? So my next command is forward. No, doesn't seem to be understanding me. Right. Nope. Okay, let's quit this one. That was not fun at all. And I'm now changing to Jet Set Willy. Probably will have the same high-res issue. I don't think the sound capabilities of this machine is particularly good. Just these beep sounds. Alright, so there you go. It's the same issue. This is really strange. I'm gonna go into the RF mode. So that's actually much better, but no, there's actually no sound, so I made it to level 2. I guess not going there is perhaps an idea. And now go this way. Yeah, that's the wife, is it? Points to the other direction. Oh no, not gonna enter the master bedroom. Donk. Game over. Alright, I think that is it for the game playing on this machine. The Dragon 32, it obviously has its limitations. I think it's even worse than the ZX Spectrum was back in the day, but yeah. Anyway, that's it for this video. A great machine I have in my collection now, and that is what I got it for, just to keep it, and I'm gonna put it back into its box and keep it in a safe place. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks to my supporters at patreon.com. See you, bye bye.